when you are hungry of certain feeling, you're thirsty of, let's say, happiness, what do? Do you just sit there? No, you're a human being. You will go to look for it. You will look for things that make you feel a certain way. So it's not only just for happiness. Sometimes I actually want to look for sadness or the feeling of fear, all kinds of different feelings. So from the ancient tribal time to the modern society, our environment always put us in these moments where we feel really down, right? And we want to feel slightly better. And this kind of desire for feelings really drives the evolution of entertainment. What entertainment does is to make you feel a certain way. So if you look at what used to be in the old time, from the tribal dance, think about what those old people were thinking. Most of the time, they don't have clothes, so they feel cold, right? And they have to struggle with the nature, so they feel insecure. So if you circle around dancing next to the fire, you feel warm and you feel safe. And that's the thing most people desire. And then people have civilization. They circle them around in a town. It's safe. You don't have to worry about nature anymore. But then people get bored. That's why there's the Colosseum, giving them those feelings back. What I find that's interesting is that entertainment industry is this interesting thing that allows you to experience certain feeling that is just normally inaccessible in our normal daily life. There's so many laws and there's restrictions and there's rules, so we can't really have these feelings under normal circumstance. That's why we go to movie, we go to roller coaster ride, so we can have those feelings back. So this content about entertainment, this content about feelings, is delivered through various media. We talked about the books, we talked about the movies, and we talked about certain sports can make you feel a certain way. And now we have this new medium, which is called interactive media. And right now, the most popular commercial form of interactive media is actually video games. Actually, I just wonder how many of you have played a game in your life, either on the mobile phone or on the internet. Have any of you haven't played a game? Please raise your hand. Okay, nobody, right? So it's a very mass media already. In the established entertainment media, such as film, people tend to talk about film. These are the words they use to describe film in the reviews. And you can see they are all describing related to the feelings the film makes you experience. But if you look at the genres of film, there's very negative genres, but also positive genres, but they are all based on the feelings. When I was looking at this, I was looking at the games, and about 5 years ago, I started to do these collections about game reviews. And I realized most people talk about games, they talk about technology, they talk about features, as if game is software or game is some kind of a car, it drives 60 miles per hour, these kind of things. It is actually quite natural, because if you look at evolution of a media, usually the growth of the technology always comes in first. Then people realize, okay, you can use this technology to do something, and they start then you start to evolve the user experience or the content of this medium. And there's a point where the evolution of technology is actually slowing down, and the evolution of the content is really picking up to further push this media to everyone. And I think video game has already reached that stage. In the past 30 years, I was mapping all the video game genres, usually are based on technology. There's a lot of genres there. But if you look at the feelings these genres evoke, they're quite limited. Mostly about this, and some kind of empowerment. You are the god, you can fly. Just some games just keep you out there, zoom out, you just forget time, and some kind of immersion that you feel like you're right there. And these feelings are very primal if there's a whole palette of human emotions, and they're probably, let's say, they're red. This is actually a common phenomenon, because if you look at the history of film, in the early cinema, when people just realized they can record motion pictures onto this thing called film, they record similar things like The top left one here is basically a film about a train coming to the station. When this film was first shown in Russia, half of the theater get so scared, they think the train is really going to hit them, so they all run away from the theater. And that definitely, this kind of shocking value, this kind of primal feeling, helps to sell the technology. And over time, the audience of film grows, and their age grows, the number of them grow, and also the filmmaker are also growing up. And as they grow, their desire for feeling grows. They were like, oh, we've been seeing a lot of train coming to the station now. We better see something more sophisticated. And slowly, the kind of content a film can offer becomes saturated. And to a stage where no matter who you are, how old you are, what kind of mood you are in right now, there's one kind of film that will fit for you, for your emotional needs. And that's why we never ask someone, we ask someone, are you a gamer? Because we assume most people don't play games. But you never ask, are you a film watcher? Because you assume everybody will watch film. And when it comes to video games, this desire for the feelings is the same. I mean, we are the same audience here. We want to have more feelings in this medium. But if you look at the market right now, it's saturated with primal feelings, not very much in the rest of the spectrum. And I believe that a media with a variety of content is a media that's very mature and a sign of healthiness. And that's kind of thing which I believe in, and I'm very frustrated that's not happening right now, and what really drives me to do with the company here. So when I graduated from school in 2006, first I was thinking about, well, there must be people out there, like-minded people who share the exact same vision as I do, so I can join them so we can work on this thing together. But I started to go around to shop this idea about making a healthy media to the big publishers, the big studios. And usually, they don't know what I'm talking about. And they just say, well, fuck off. So that kind of left me no choice, because I really wanted to do something about it. And I tried to work for some companies for like about a year. And it doesn't feel like I'm shifting that direction. I feel like the company is doing something great, but it's really not changing the world into that future where it's a more healthy environment. So we started the company. Actually, starting up is quite easy in America. You don't really need money. Maybe $20, you can just register a company, and there you have it. And it's more important just to do it. The difficulty of running a company here is actually from the fact we wanted to do something different. It's not something that you have seen before. It's not something that people can show you how to do it, because nobody has seen them. So I want to give you an example just on one of the games we made recently called Flower. In this game, we wanted to explore a feeling that's often ignored in video games, which is, because I grew up in a city, I grew up in Shanghai. This is a view from the tallest building in Shanghai. And you don't really see any green on this picture, do you? And so I grew up in a city like this, and I never really thought, there's anything wrong about it. But then when I go to California, in America, I see just, endless field of grass and flowers. And I was like, this is so intense that I wish I could make a game to capture this feeling of peacefulness and harmony. But what can I do? I've never seen a game do that.